Hello, my friends. This is the AMC 1-month overview reading for June 2022. It's currently June 2nd, 2022, 5:56 p.m. The overall theme and behavior for the month of June is a period of volatility with a prominent dip in the midst of that, a sharp decline in the midst of that breaks through an important support level. The high behavior on the high is going to be three failed attempts to break through a key resistance, and after the third attempt there's a deep decline. The behavior moving into the low, there's actual headwinds, something involving an agreement between two leaders or a decision between two leaders or possibly a merger of some kind that pushes us into the month's low. On the first, we have sideways fluidity, bouncing along support, possibly moving to a higher support. But moving sideways along support is the majority of the behavior with one local high in there. So a local high, if you're looking at a one-day chart of AMC, you'll see a prominent high on that one-day chart for the first. Same thing goes for the second. We have one local high after a big move to the upside. The behavior for the day is going to be sideways rotation along a support level that ends with a fast sudden move higher. On the third, we have two local lows and a local high. Local high will be bouncing along support and possibly moving to a new support. Behavior around the low will be range bound. Lower end of a range is met at one of the lows and also out of one of the lows, or possibly to both lows. We have a move higher followed by a full retracement back to where the move higher started. On the 6th, we have a decline to and through support level to meet a second support where we bounce along sideways and then we break down through multiple supports. There's a swing trade opportunity on the 7th, one local high, one local low. The local high will stand out. There'll be a holding pattern, and it looks like something to do with a Senate or Congress, and when the holding pattern breaks, we're going to have a decline through multiple support levels to meet a day's low, and bounce along support at the low. There's a trade opportunity, a bullish trade opportunity in there at the low, it looks like, to open up a long position. On the 8th, we have move higher along a diagonal trend line, breaking through a horizontal resistance and then meeting a second resistance before pulling back to somewhere between those two price levels. It's also crossed with the hangman card, so we should see a notable decline somewhere around the 8th. Looks like we possibly have a low at the end of the day. Or the following day, it's hard to say. On the 9th, we have a swing trade opportunity. Looks like an opportunity to get out at the local high, which will be an opportunity, our first opportunity to short or to protect against long positions. We'll move higher through we'll move higher through resistance, stay there briefly, and then break back down with a full retracement back down through that price level. In the midst of that, move higher through resistance and then back down. That's where we'll have an opportunity to close out of the long positions that I opened on the 7th. We also have a trade opportunity on the 10th, so it looks like another opportunity there in the midst of a local high to open up a short position, a move higher through horizontal resistance and then staying there briefly before breaking back down. There's deception at the end of the day on the 10th, so be careful of that. And it looks like we have notable decline that starts on the 10th. On the 9th, we actually fall to support, break through that support, and then we move back up to it and reuse it as support again. On the 13th, after it looks like a gap down or a strong decline early in the morning, we reach the bottom end of a range. There's a move higher out of that decline that is then fully retraced back to a low. So two local lows. We have a trade opportunity on the 14th, a swing trade opportunity in the midst of the completion of a rally. Looks like possibly another important trough there. But we have a month's high correlator on the 15th, so likely there's an important crest or high here. excuse me, it's an important crest. There's an important crest here on the 14th, 15th, and then a notable decline with two local lows that form in the midst of it. There's a bunch of volatility here on the 15th as well, and a swing trade opportunity as well. Looks like in the midst of that decline, we hit the bottom end of a range, and then we move higher with a full retracement back down to hit the second low. Trade opportunity around a support level, and then the following day we have a month's low correlator. Looks like a holding pattern again near the local high, two local lows. So from the holding pattern, there's a steep decline. At one of the local lows, we have a move higher, but then it's fully retraced back to the low. And again, a trade opportunity. It looks like 14th, 15th, and 16th are trade opportunities somewhere around a support level. On the 17th, we have a notable move to the upside, possibly pushing the upper end of a range, but it's a big move to the upside, and an important piece of news comes out at the end of the day or over the weekend of the 17th to the 20th. Looks like another month's low here on the 20th. So that big dip, that prominent dip that we discussed, looks like there's definitely one on the 8th, but it looks like we likely have something there on the 15th, 16th as well. And then it looks like we revisit that low on the 20th in the midst of a sideways S formation between a horizontal resistance and support. There's one local low, and there's a trade opportunity there in the midst of a move higher through resistance, followed by a move back down through that same price level. Like a full retracement back down through that price level. On the 21st, we have a failed attempt to break resistance, followed by a decline through key support. And that decline continues to reach another low on the 22nd. Yeah, so there's an opportunity there on the 22nd to position oneself with both sides of the market, either playing like holding a long position and having puts to protect it, or more likely and more profitably would be like an opportunity to position a Hermes, no barking, would be an opportunity to position oneself. Sorry guys, give me a sec. So on the 22nd, opportunity to position oneself using options with like a straddle or a strangle. Looks like there's a move there. There's also around a local high. There's a some sideways rotation, but there's a correlation to the Hangman card again here on the 22nd. So big move to the downside. In the midst of that downside, I'd be opening up calls. And likely before, like at the high when we're bouncing along a rotation or whatnot, I'd likely buy the puts if I didn't already hold them. Looks like on the 20th, it would be a good opportunity to buy those puts in the midst of that move higher through resistance, and then sell those puts on the 22nd. Maybe hold them over into July, because it looks like July we have a reversal and a deeper low. On the 23rd, we have an important crest. There's a big move to the upside. On the 24th, we have an important resistance level that's highlighted. And that's from that resistance, there'll be sideways rotation along the support there, but then it'll become failed support, in other words, resistance, and we'll have steep decline with increasing volatility as we move into the end of the day and into the weekend. We have a month's high correlator on the 27th, and it looks like we reach an important resistance where volume kind of peters out at a high there on the 27th, and that's likely where I would sell calls that I purchased in the midst of that steep decline on the 22nd. On the On the 28th, we have 2 local highs and a trade opportunity in the midst of a big push to the upside. So that high might actually be on the 28th. Hard to say, but because it's the prudence card, if I have an opportunity to sell those calls on the 27th for a good profit, I'll do that. I don't like to trade around the prudence card. However, there is a chance that there's a higher high there or the same high. But we have 2 local highs and multiple false tops, it looks like. One of them presents an opportunity to open up a short position again, and the other one going into it, there'll be a prominent move on the chart to meet the high. A prominent move on a one-day chart of the 28th. In the midst of that move higher, that's where we have the opportunity to open up the short position or the puts to protect against long positions. And it looks like we have some back and forth erratic behavior along a support level or along a price level, back and forth through it. In the midst of that, there's a crest that's revisited. On the 29th, we have one local high. Looks like we attempt to establish support here on like the 28th, 29th. It looks like we attempt to establish new support and possibly do so on the 29th. But then on the 30th, we have at the local high, we have the opportunity again to open up short positions. In the midst of some bumping along resistance. The majority behavior on the 30th will be bumping along resistance and an opportunity to open up a short position. There's a swing trade in there. But the most prominent moves, guys, there's going to be a notable decline on the 8th. Steep decline on the 15th, 16th, maybe possibly 14th, 15th, 16th, revisiting of that trough on the 20th. And then we have a big move to the upside on the 23rd, a big move down on the 22nd. Most likely our month's low on the 16th and the 20th. And our month's high on the 27th, 28th. With a prominent crest on the 15th. Possibly on the 13th as well, and on the 1st, a prominent crest. Most important pieces of news come out over the weekend of the 17th to the 20th. And that's it, guys. That's the AMC June 2022 reading. If you want to see more stuff like this, if you want to see more AMC, put it in the comments and make sure you like, and then we'll do some more AMC. If you want to see more stuff like this, hit that like button as well. And guys, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That's how you show your support. We're doing all this stuff for free. It takes a ton of time. It took me 22 years of struggle and hardship to figure out how to do this. And now we're bringing it to you free every single day. You can't get it anywhere else. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And most importantly, when you make that money, pay it forward, my friends. I'll see you on the next one.